All right, Cofield here in Atlanta. We continue. Jason MacDonald is here with us. I guess my first question is, didn't I just see you? What are you doing here?
Hey, work is good. My job's to fight, and I'm here to fight.
Yeah. How soon did it come about after the last fight?
I got home on Monday, and I think I got the phone call on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that one of those cases where is there like a second thought at all? Because you're probably stewing about the loss for the 5 or 6 days. So what's a range of emotions as you're thinking about a loss and all of a sudden you're offered another fight?
Well, I think it's a great opportunity to jump on. As you said, you're at home, kind of upset over your loss, and then what better way to get back on the horse than to get right back in there and try to redeem yourself?
Yeah, I got to say I like the blog. I'm a devotee, so I'm looking forward. Are you going to be writing this week?
Yeah, absolutely. Starting tonight. We did one 2 nights ago, and then starting tonight we'll do another one.
All right. I assume it was easier getting into the country this time than Minneapolis?
Well, actually, the UFC must have checked out my blog because they sent me up a copy of my work visa, so there was no hassles this time, just smooth sailing.
Seriously, tell people what happened the last time around, that you basically you felt like you were going to be detained there and missed the fight.
Yeah. Well, last time around, I was trying to, at Calgary Airport, I was trying to get through customs, and then basically the customs officers pulled me into the back office and then set me there for an hour. No one would talk to me, and then they basically were just trying to detain me and not let me come into the U.S., and then they weren't really giving me any reason why other than, they were giving me no reason why. And eventually they asked me what I was doing. I told them I was fighting in the UFC, and this was my 5th or 6th fight, and I had never been detained before, and I had the appropriate paperwork. And they continued to ask me the same question probably 10 or 15 times, and I gave them the same answer 10 or 15 times. And finally, it was about 2 minutes before my flight was due to take off, and I asked the gentleman, I said, am I going to miss my flight over this? And he just handed me back my passport and said, have a nice day. So
very nice.
Yeah, it was very nice. A very nice start to the trip, that's for sure.
So, like, any clue what they were looking for?
I think they were just, trying to intimidate me, I guess. I don't know. He asked me the same question 15 times.
Yeah.
If what they want to know is if I fell down and got hurt and never fought, would I still get paid? And I explained to them over and over again that I only got paid if I actually fought, and that I did in fact have a work visa anyways, and I had always paid my taxes. It comes right off my purse. So
wait, if you fell down and got hurt, was that a threat? Were they going to beat the hell out of you? I don't get it.
No,
they're roughing you up at the border now?
He'd have to actually get off his chair to do that.
Right.
So, and he wasn't willing to do that.
Can I tell you my experience at the border was actually wonderful. I drove across to Montreal, and I told them I was going to UFC both ways, coming back and going there, and they were like, "Okay, go ahead."
Yeah, well,
no questions, nothing.
That's like Canadian hospitality.
They love Americans.
They just let you right in there.
Exactly. All right. Boy, the last fight. What's it like being in there? When you had lots of opportunities for submissions? Was that your mistake, or is he just so crafty on the ground that you just couldn't finish him off?
I think just the fact that he's so experienced on the ground, 5-time world champion, Abu Dhabi champion. I think he's just good at what he does, and that's jiu-jitsu, and he was hard to finish. I had him in a couple, opportunities where I may have been able to finish, and I wasn't able to do that. I don't think it was my inability to finish. I've always been able to finish other people in those positions. I think it's just his experience and his skills.
I know you talked about on the blog and in the post-fight that you were disappointed with just the way the fight went, and that you really didn't dictate the pace of the fight the way you wanted to. I mean, immediately it went to the ground. There was almost no stand-up.
Yeah, well, no, that exactly. I mean, the game plan going into that fight was to keep the fight standing, to try to beat Damian Maia standing, because obviously his strengths are on the ground. And right from the first bell, I wasn't able to do that. I was, for whatever reason, I'm still. Well, actually, I'm not. I don't think about it anymore. There's no sense dwelling on it. But for whatever reason, I didn't stick to the game plan, and it cost me the fight.
So, is he the type of guy, after rolling with him for 2+ rounds, and you can see how crafty he was and how strong he was? Is he the type of guy who can actually challenge for the 85 title? Is he a guy who can get Anderson Silva to the ground and give him trouble? Unlike most other guys have been able to do. And we saw Luter on the ground with him, and then he wound up gassing and getting submitted. Is that the kind of guy who's going to beat him eventually at 85, or maybe there's no one who can?
Well, I don't know. We've never really seen Anderson tested on the ground. So we've seen lots of people go toe to toe with him, and we've seen what happens there. So that's obviously not the best game plan going into a fight with Anderson Silva.
And yet Patrick Cote is going with that game plan, but that's his style. So I don't know what else he would do.
Yeah, that's his style, and he's taken what he has to the table, and he's going to do his best. If Damian Maia can to get Anderson Silva down, then I think he has a chance against anybody in the world on the ground. He has a victory over Gabriel Gonzaga, in the submission fighting tournaments. So I certainly think if he can get him to the ground, that'd be his best chance to try to beat Anderson Silva.
All right, so break this fight down. It's on short notice. Obviously, you're not going to have any trouble. I'm sure you haven't had any trouble getting prepared because you were prepared for the last fight and in condition. So it's an easy transition that way. How about his fighting style and the fact that this is a guy who used to fight at heavyweight, and you can see he's still got a lot of mass on him. I don't know what he's going to look like at 85, but it should be interesting. I know the one thing is that generally, and you can tell me this as a fighter, I'm just observing a lot of guys when they make that initial drop, it seems like that first fight at times is tough. Can't guarantee that, but what do you think he'll be like at 85?
Well, I mean, as you said, I can only speak for myself, but that drop to 185 from 205 was a tough one for me. That first fight was my mind was telling me to do stuff that my body just wouldn't do, and you hear that a lot. And from what I hear, that he hasn't really done a test run to 185. This is going to be his first crack at it. So I don't know. I certainly think that if this fight goes into the later rounds, that it's going to have an impact on how he performs. I could be way off. He could come out and perform brilliantly at that weight. I don't know, but I mean, as far as him dropping down a weight class, we both weigh in at 185 or 186. So come fight time, I don't think it's going to be a factor, the size and the strength. I fought my first 10 fights at 205, and dropping down, was never a factor as far as size and strength went. I've fought some of the bigger middleweights in Okami and Franklin, and never felt like I was outpowered by them. So I don't think that's going to be a factor in this fight. If anything, the conditioning may be a problem. We'll see how his body reacts to the drop. We'll only know on Saturday night.
By the way, you can tell the fighter here and the dorky media guy because I feel like I'm over the dugout right now at a baseball game, like I'm going to get hit in the face with a punch as Nate and Rashad work out, and you're just like, no problem.
Yeah, we're still a long ways away from them guys.
I feel like they're really close though. Like I'm going to get kicked by a Sean Salmon leg kick from Rashad here in a second. All right, last thing, what do we expect on the blog this week? Is it just whatever happens?
Yeah, well, it's a pretty relaxed week for us. I mean, I just fought, so I don't have to do any photo shoots. I don't have to do too much video stuff, and we're here at the media day right now. So basically just to get some relax time. And as I said, after the last fight, I just got right back into training, so I didn't have a whole lot of opportunity to rest. So I'll be looking just to rest and get mentally prepared for Saturday night.
I want to see a good story, though, on the blog.
All right.
Something in, I don't know, go get barbecue or... I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that's quintessential Atlanta. Not coming up with anything.
Well,
I don't know.
Peaches. It's got to have a peach theme, that's for sure. So we'll go out, and if nothing happens to do with peaches, we'll make something up.
Seriously, make something up, please.
All right.
All right. Thanks. Jason MacDonald.